Ah, yes, the Philippines, tropical paradise, land of 7,000 plus islands, world-class beaches, and allegedly, somewhere beneath all that sand and forest, billions of dollars worth of gold. Welcome to the story of the Lost Gold of Yamashita, where history, myth, and greed all dig their own graves, literally. Hi guys! Before we begin our story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Here on Whisper of the Past, we bring you amazing stories, mysteries, and hidden chapters of history every week, so you'll always have something new to discover. If you're ready, let's dive in and start today's journey. Our story begins during World War II, when Imperial Japan occupied most of Southeast Asia, including the Philippines. Now, Japan wasn't just fighting battles, it was looting everything it could get its hands on. Gold bars, jewels, artwork, Buddha statues, even church treasures. All these were collectively called the Golden Lily Treasure, supposedly under the command of Prince Yasuhito Chichibu. Yes, actual royalty, because imperial nepotism never rests. As the tide of war turned and Japan started losing, they needed a place to hide this loot. Enter the Philippines, conveniently located, heavily jungled, and at that point, already under Japanese control. The perfect hiding place. At least if you don't mind the occasional American invasion. When Japan surrendered in 1945, Yamashita was captured, tried, and executed for war crimes. He never mentioned any treasure during his trial, not a single gold coin. But the mystery didn't die with him. Stories began spreading, soldiers whispering about hidden gold, locals claiming they saw trucks unloading crates at night, and maps written in blood pointing to X marks the spot. Suddenly, everyone's backyard was a potential gold mine. And that's where the modern treasure hunters come in. In the decades after the war, fortune hunters, both Filipino and foreign, scoured the archipelago for the Yamashita treasure. Some said it was in Baguio, others claimed Mindanao or Ilocos, or even Manila's tunnels. Basically, if there's a hole in the ground, someone's probably checked it. Then enters Rogelio Roxas, a Filipino locksmith and amateur treasure hunter in the 1970s. He claimed to have found a golden Buddha filled with jewels and several crates of gold bars. He said that soon after, the Marcos regime confiscated it. And if you know anything about the Marcoses, that sounds disturbingly plausible. Roxas sued the Marcos family years later, and a US court actually ruled that he was telling the truth, awarding his estate hundreds of millions. So, did he really find Yamashita's gold? Maybe. Did it mysteriously vanish again? Definitely. There are several competing theories about the treasure's fate. 1. Hidden and lost, the gold remains buried somewhere in the Philippines, yet to be found. 2. Recovered in secret, the CIA and US government allegedly recovered much of it after the war and used it to fund anti-communist operations during the Cold War. 3. Looted. Again, Marcos found some of it, laundered it abroad, and used it to build his vast wealth. Each theory has its own fan base, from historians to conspiracy vloggers who spend too much time in caves with metal detectors. So, how much of this is true? Historians agree Japan did loot massive amounts of gold and treasures during the war, but whether it was systematically buried in the Philippines by Yamashita himself, there's no solid evidence, no verified gold bar, no credible map, no official Japanese records. Every discovery so far has either been unverified, mysteriously disappeared, or turned out to be fake. It's like a real-life Pirates of the Caribbean, but with fewer skeletons and more lawsuits. So why does the legend survive? Because it could be true. The Philippines was a war zone, a crossroads of empires, and a place where secrets were buried, both literally and historically. And who doesn't love the idea that unimaginable wealth lies just beneath our feet? More importantly, it's a story about greed, hope, and colonial scars. How one nation's suffering might still be tied to treasures stolen generations ago. At the end of the day, the lost gold of Yamashita might not be gold at all. It might be the reminder that history leaves behind layers, some buried under the earth, others under myth. And every time we dig for treasure, we uncover a little more of who we are. So next time someone offers you a treasure map in the jungle, maybe check for tripwires first. If you like this deep dive into mystery and myth, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more hidden histories of Asia. This has been Whispers from the Past, reminding you the past is never buried for long.